Hello again, this is Ben Spate, your Director of Training and Livestock Management for Royal Carriages, and I just wanted to do a really quick video. It's summertime, it's hot outside, and what does that heat bring other than rain and tons of heat? Humidity. Flies, especially biting flies and mosquitoes, things like that, they can be a real problem for us. We have a black biting fly down here. It looks like a house fly, it's a little bit smaller, and they can tear them up, and you don't want your mule to be uncomfortable for a lot of reasons. You don't want them to be uncomfortable just because they're your friend. You don't want them to be uncomfortable because they could possibly end up with an abrasion that could turn into a summer sore, which is a huge disaster. Summer sores can get irritated and then they don't go away. And then you don't want them to get scared. If a horsefly would bite them on the bottom, there's a chance. They're animals. We train our mules very well and they know the streets of New Orleans very well, but something could startle them, something like a big horsefly bite, and some of these horseflies in Louisiana get that big. So, Avon's not just for the ladies. Who'd have thought old Ben Spate would have a giant thing of Avon. I have an Avon lady that calls me. Her name is Peaches. If y'all want to check out Miss Peaches, you can. But anyway, so Skin So Soft from Avon has been a product used for many years. It reminds me of my childhood and my grandmother growing up. Make our spray with that, which means it smells really good. It helps it to stick, and it also gives it a good smell. But basically how we make our fly spray, I use a gallon. We mix them at a time. So 1 gallon would get 64 ounces of white vinegar. Use, I think, 4% dilution is what they use. So it's ounces of that, so that's a half gallon. And then you get, I usually do 12.5 ounces of Skin So Soft just because of the way I get them in 25-ounce bottles. It splits it in half and I can make 2 gallons off of one bottle. And then the last, other than water, is permethrin. I use a 39%, I use a 39% Martin's permethrin SFR. It's a chemical, you need to be careful with it. Any issues with mules, cancer from it. But it's one of those things that we use a fly spray, and any fly sprays are going to have some things in them. So yeah, is Skin So Soft, permethrin, and then you fill it the rest of the way with water, mix that up, and then put that into 32-ounce spray bottles, and we spray it all over the mules to keep the bugs from biting. If we're being completely honest, the chemical we use to clean, or the chemical that we use to intensity of the spray is better than the mosquito-borne illnesses that come from the bites. Triple E, just equine infectious anemia, is one of the most dangerous things we can get. In fact, we have a federal test that's required to be done because of that. So, got to make sure that we keep those flies away from our friends, and that is how we do it. So, y'all, again, thank y'all so much for visiting with me and my Skin So Soft collection, and we'll see you again next time.